Welcome to the Financial Update with First Community Bank, live every fourth Thursday of the month on WLIJ and podcasted on Facebook. Join guests from First Community Bank and our host as they inform, educate, and encourage you on all things finances. First Community Bank is a member FDIC, equal housing lender. Now, here's your host. Good morning. This is Chase Gladden for Hopkins Farms Broadcasting, bringing you the financial update with First Community Bank. It's the time of the month where we do that program. And today we have a very special guest, Miss Tina Corley from First Community Bank, their Business Development Officer. Tina, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, and thank you so much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So you love doing this type of thing. This just fits your personality perfect.
Anything I can do to get word out to the community, I'm here for it. So, yes, I'm honored to be here.
Well, very good. Well, we're very glad to have you today.
Thank you.
Yeah, so tell me just a little bit about, like, your background and how you got into banking and stuff like that.
Yeah, so a lot of people around the community likely know me, so this story may be old hat. But I actually worked for Verizon for 30 years.
Okay.
So I come from the technology industry, and which is very different from banking. And it was such a beautiful career for me. I loved it. I loved every moment of it. Having the opportunity to leave, I took some time off and did a lot of praying, hoping that God would get me into the right fit for myself, because I desired to find my second act. And I wanted to make a living, but I also wanted to make a difference. And here I am with First Community Bank.
That's very good.
Yeah.
You're talented at this speaking thing.
Thank you.
You need to be hosting the program.
Oh, thank you.
But First Community Bank is definitely a place where you could find a very respectable next act.
Yes.
And also make a difference.
That's right.
Which is what you're doing now, and we'll get into that a little bit later, I guess. But so you worked at Verizon before bank. Could you tell me just a bit more about that?
Well, over 30 years. Certainly my experience is vast, but very much in the sales culture. That was a big part of my history with the company, having been in sales, but also training folks perhaps that were going to be in sales, and then in some leadership roles. So I just really wore a lot of hats over the years, but my most favorite thing of all about my 30-year career, without a doubt, were the connections that I made within the company and on the outside, because customer experience, whether it's an internal customer or an external customer, always mattered most to me. So at the end of the day, I wanted to make sure I'd service my customers to the best of my ability, again, which set me up really for this opportunity with the bank.
Right. Well, okay. Could you explain the difference in like an internal customer
absolutely.
And an external?
At Verizon?
Sure.
For me, I had a lot of locations that I serviced that sold Verizon that were not necessarily a corporate location, and so I was their point of contact. So it was important to us that those locations were servicing our customers effectively. So I made sure, as they were my customers, that I was servicing them so that they could in turn service our customers. So that's what I mean by an internal customer and an external customer. Again, much like the bank, the people that I work with every day, I consider the folks on the inside my customers as well, because I want to bring some of what I have gathered over my 30-year career in the technology industry perhaps into the banking world. So the employees of the bank, I'm going to look at those folks as my internal customers as well, because opportunities exist with those fantastic folks.
They do, and you're serving each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're serving them, and they do their job serving the same company.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, you may as well look at them as customers. So that's an interesting perspective.
Yes.
Well, okay, how has your role in your previous career, and I guess you kind of hinted at that a little bit, set you up for success in your current role at the bank?
Well, I really did not have any idea how much my role in my previous career was going to set me up for success, because the role that I'm in as a business development officer is somewhat of a hybrid position in the world of banking in small town America, because people are like, what is business development? What does that mean?
Right.
And it's really, again, our employees, myself, we are looking for opportunities. So you are seeking out opportunities, you're identifying those opportunities, and then you're seizing those opportunities ultimately to grow the bank's business. And my previous career taught me how to maneuver through customer relationships to uncover needs that ultimately drive growth for any business, and certainly in the world of banking. At First Community, we want to be, well, your hometown bank, right?
Yeah, right.
And we don't want just some of it. We want all of your business. And there's no better place to bank than First Community Bank. And I say that it's mind-boggling to me how much joy I have found in 64 days.
Yeah.
64 days.
That's a lot different than 30 years.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And I never thought I would have an experience where I could say, I absolutely love what I'm doing, because I had loved my former job so much.
Sure, yeah.
But I found my place, and I know I'm going to be able to make a difference, and that was the goal.
You found your place.
I found my place.
At First Community Bank.
That's right.
We're coming up with so many good rhymes. I hope Kayla's taking notes, because I think we've come up with 2 different ad spots so far. But okay, did you have any specific mentors or experience that helped you get into this role, perhaps?
Well, that's a tough question, because there's been so many people throughout my career that have mentored me, both in the community, at Verizon, and already at the bank. But I'd be remiss if I didn't call out Scott Kokenauer, for reaching out to me when he realized that I was seeking a second act and didn't really know if there was a place for me, but, it evolved into this. And shout out to Kayla and Lucy. They have really embraced me there at the bank, and I really don't know what I would have done without those ladies over the past 63 days. They have been just amazing, as has everyone at the bank. They've been so supportive. So, but I have to give all the credit to God. I can't leave that out, because my prayer always was to find a place where I could make a living and make a difference. And through due diligence, He delivered me to exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Amen. I like that very much. Well, let's talk a little bit about what you actually do as the Business Development Officer. So many people may not fully understand what that means.
Right.
So tell us about your scope of work and what a typical day-to-day would look like.
So I thought it would be helpful. A lot of people maybe don't even understand the definition of business development, but it's a long-term strategy that involves finding new opportunities and then growing those opportunities.
Okay.
And so, and I made a note here to call out again, both internally and externally. So identifying things within the bank, little pivots that can help us to grow our business and even better serve our customers. And then also identifying opportunities on the outside. We want to see folks that are a part of our community that aren't already our customer. We want to have a chance to earn their business.
Right.
And through discovery and understanding what their needs are, understanding what their growth plan looks like. 1 to 3 years, where do you aspire to take your business? Understanding a business that's not already our customer, doing my homework and knowing their industry, what their goals are, what are their, obviously their financial goals specifically, but what do they love about their current financial institution, but also what are their pain points? And then taking all of that and creating a proposal so that they identify that our bank might very well be the solution to their entire portfolio. All the things they need, we can deliver to them.
Yeah, where they might just be getting part of their needs met at this time.
Right.
So, you can take a look at that and see where you can fill in the gaps and possibly even improve what they're already getting.
Yes, and be a partner. And help to grow their business by understanding their goals. That's a big part of business development.
Well, what I'm hearing is it's a lot more than just transactional.
Oh, it's not transactional
at all. No. Yeah, this is a relationship where you're sitting down and you're talking and you're understanding their passion and what they're doing. You're understanding, like you said, what their goals are.
Yes.
And I mean, what a great team of people at First Community Bank with, so many people, so many different backgrounds, all kinds of different experiences to draw from to help, a business owner achieve those goals.
Right.
Because especially if maybe they're a first-time business owner, right? Either way, this is probably a new thing for them.
Right.
They're going to need that help.
Yeah, and the thing that I'll say is, a lot of people would assume, having come from Verizon, I'm of a sales culture, and I was, but I prefer to look at it a little bit differently, and that's the message I want to share with our internal folks at the bank. Is it's more about, they're already doing this. You've got this bank full of people that are so passionate for who they work for. And they have every right to be.
Yeah.
And it's taking that to the next level and evangelizing First Community Bank in the community.
Evangelizing
our bank, because it's something to be proud of. And I sat with, when I first started at the bank, they were so wonderful to let me kind of evolve into the role. And they were like, you maneuver your way through however you think you can best learn our business. And they let me sit with everybody. Like, I literally spent the first few weeks sitting with folks, understanding their role within the bank. And what I found through that experience was the love they have for who they work for. And it's taking that to the next level and spreading it throughout the community to make people want to come and be a part of something so amazing.
Right. Which shares the love, grows the bank.
That's right.
And allows you to share, your helping hand with those business owners people in our community.
That's right.
And that's how you can make a difference.
That's exactly right. And I will add this, just one other caveat, is a big thing about business development is not just understanding the services that we offer at the bank, but it's understanding, after you've asked all the qualifying questions of that new business considering you as a bank, you understand their needs, and you offered, again, a tailored solution that suits their plan, not the bank's plan, but their plan.
Right.
So that, again, it's a partnership where we grow together, and we're going to be there for them throughout the journey.
A lot of listening involved.
And hey, some people that know me would say I talk a lot, and they're right. But don't laugh now. Stop.
It's good. It works for the radio, I'm telling you.
It works for the radio.
Very good.
But I just have so much confidence in where we're going to go as a bank, and I'm so excited to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a short 60-second break. This is the financial update with First Community Bank. We'll be right back after this.
In our community, we believe in supporting one another. And at First Community Bank, we take that seriously. For generations, we've been proud to serve our neighbors with personal service that's as genuine as a handshake. Whether you're opening an account for your new business, saving for your child's education, or just need a safe place for your money, we're here with a commitment to the people of our hometown. First Community Bank, proud to be your hometown bank. Visit us today and see how we can help you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to the Financial Update with First Community Bank. Now, back to the show. All right, we're back with the First Community Bank Financial Update right here on WLIJ. My name's Chase Clanton, your host, and I'm joined today by Tina Corley, their Business Development Officer. We've been talking about Tina's background and the Business Development Officer's role. That's quite a title. I have to slow down when I say that because I'll get all jumbled up. But, let's talk a little bit more about community involvement, which is a big theme here.
Yes.
So how does First Community Bank, being deeply involved with the local community, tie into business development?
Well, I think in small town America, it's fair to say that businesses throughout our community, they want more than just a financial institution. They want someone that's truly invested in leaving our community better than they found it. And I can't think of a more perfect name than First Community Bank.
It's in the name.
And I tell you, I consider myself an outsider to some extent still. And I knew all the wonderful things. I thought I knew all the wonderful things the bank was doing in our community on the outside, what I could see on social media, and having some connections in the bank. But when I tell you that being on the inside and seeing how they work so hard, every day their mission is to better our community without expecting anything in return. And that is something that I'm super proud to be a part of. I mean, they're affiliated with so many things that I couldn't possibly put them on paper, but I just kind of asked. I was like, tell me some things you're involved in the community that I might have missed when I see you on social media. And just to name a few: Boys and Girls Club, Leadership Bedford, the Bedford County Fair, First Choice Pregnant. I mean, there are so many. The list is endless.
Yeah.
And they work tirelessly on making a difference in our community. And I just assume businesses will want a bank that cares about its community.
Yes, it's definitely, it's not just about image, but the fact that you guys are actually doing that work, and you're not just, banks are more than just a place to deposit your paycheck, and get a loan.
Absolutely.
I mean, those are very basic services that banks offer, but First Community Bank, it's in the name, and you guys do a great job of that. And I see it all the time. I mean, you guys are posting, like you say, on social media about, hey, come out, and just highlighting the everyday people that work at the bank or come into the bank. And you guys are always having events too.
Yes, they're all about celebrating.
Yes, thank you.
I kind of joke that being there, they're always celebrating. They always have food around. There's always a reason to celebrate.
We like that. Yeah.
And they're celebrating their employees, they're celebrating their community, and they're celebrating their commitment to excellence every single day.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to be a part of it. And I'll just share this, that you may or may not know this, but community is also really important to me. And certainly public schools that's really my soft spot. And so I am the founder of Bedford County Adopt a Teacher.
I was going to ask, let's talk about Adopt a Teacher.
I want to bring that up because it really ties into me seeking a second act that allowed me to make a living but make a difference.
Right.
And there were opportunities, but none of them felt quite right. And it wasn't until the bank that I worked with the bank to understand their mission, my mission, it aligned, and it's like everything just made sense. But Bedford County Adopt a Teacher is something it's been going on now for 5 summers. I started it amidst a pandemic in 2020.
Okay.
And it only runs during the summer months. The goal is to help retire the needs of our public school teachers here in Bedford County by supplying them with school supplies or perhaps furniture for a reading center or a learning center. Whatever it is they need, they're paying for out of pocket. That little campaign and the faith of a mustard seed, Matthew 17:20,
amen.
led me to the success of Bedford County Adopt a Teacher over 5 summers, having raised $622,000 in classroom
Say that number again.
That's right. $622,000 over 5 summers. It only runs a couple of months each summer. And I share that to say that wherever I interviewed for my second act, I led with Bedford County Adopt a Teacher matters to our community, and it matters to me. It's a part of who I am. And if you're interested and you will allow me to keep that as a part of what I do, I may be the girl for you. And I don't think I have to tell you this, but First Community Bank was
they're
all for it.
Yeah, it was kind of like, let's bring that on as part of your daily task.
Well, they're just so involved in our school system already. I didn't even mention that, but there are so many things they're doing within our school system. So it just truly goes hand in hand. And so that's the thing I'm most excited about.
Well, that goes perfect with their School Spirit debit card.
Yes. So you're going to quiz me on that, aren't you? And I'm ready.
Go for it.
I'm ready.
Tell us about it.
I love the concept of the School Spirit debit card because every transaction, every swipe. Let me make sure I make that. Every swipe.
Yep.
You get 3 cents. Now, somebody might be listening and say, well, how do I get one of those cards? Does mine do that? They can call the bank or stop by and request that debit card that gives them 3 cents a swipe, and they can choose the school that gets the credit.
You can, and they have these beautifully themed cards.
Yes.
Like if you get a community one, it's all purple, and it's everything community. If you get a Shelbyville Central High School one, Cascade, you name it, it's done up to look just like that school. It's great.
And what they've done with that I'm going to call it a campaign because it is that.
Yeah.
They've raised near $180,000 since launching that back in latter 2016, early 2017.
I didn't realize it'd been going on that long.
Yes.
Okay.
So really, really proud to be a part of that. And of course, I have to mention their commitment to small businesses.
Yes. Yes.
The work that goes on behind the scenes, it may feel like one Saturday in November. Mm-hmm. It is much more. I got to see so much of that coming on board November 18, and all the work they had done before, I can only imagine. But seeing, what Kayla and Lucy did to drive success around this was something that people really don't understand, and they do it all without expecting anything in return. And they are making a difference amongst our small businesses through their efforts, and that is something worth celebrating.
What are some ways, of course, we did a big program, I believe, in November about Small Business Saturday. Yeah. So, what are some ways daily that you see that being worked on?
Small Business Saturday?
Well, the Small Business Saturday initiative in general.
Well, it's literally at the forefront of what their focus on small businesses is not just one Saturday. It's they're thinking about, what did we do well this year? What can we do differently next year? And they're looking for that year-over-year growth. They're identifying the opportunities. They're identifying perhaps gaps, if there are any. And a lot of that information is funneled to them through talking to the small businesses that participate to say, what went well? And what can we do to evolve to make it even more successful? And that doesn't happen overnight. That's why I say this is truly a year-round process, because their goal is to better it with each passing year, all for the benefit of our local small businesses.
That's right. Again, First Community Bank.
That's right.
It's in the name.
They are very much invested in our community, no doubt.
So do you have any success stories from your role as far as being a business development officer that you'd like to share?
So people measure success differently.
Sure.
I'm not going to share obviously a customer example.
No.
But I want to tell you that when I kind of reflect upon the past 64 days, if I can grow every 60 days at the bank the way I've grown in the first 60, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I feel like we have so much opportunity to grow an already incredible foundation that they have, and I'm here for it. And one of my favorite quotes is by Helen Keller. I love this. It's, alone we can do so little. Mm-hmm. Together we can do so much. And I feel like there's nothing that we can accomplish together, myself and all the wonderful folks at the bank. And I'm excited to simply supplement their already awesomeness.
Wow.
I'm excited for it. I mean, the relationships that are being built, the ideas that are transpiring and being formed and developed, and their support behind it. I'm excited. Good things to come.
Yeah, and that's what would make you feel personally successful as well.
Yes, I look back and think of the growth that's happened in 60 days, and I know that at the end of 12 months, we're going to be celebrating. I just know it.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Tina, you're doing a great job already, and it's only been 64 days,
That's
right?
64 days.
64.
And a wonderful 64 days.
Well, what's your vision like maybe a year or two from now? I mean, I know you're wanting to make that, that progress every day, and this is something that's going to grow little by little.
Yeah.
And with other people, you're going to be able to do so much more, just like Helen Keller said.
That's right.
But what's your vision if you could just dream for a second with me?
I mean, obviously, in the world of business, you have to look at it from a business perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to just focus on community, and while that is super important, the reality is in business, you are successful when you grow. And in a bank, it's obvious, we want to grow our business. And I think I kind of said this in the beginning, but when I meet someone and I, inquire through discovery as to whether or not they're already our customer, I want First Community Bank to be their top of the wallet bank. The card that you see when you open up your wallet, and you're like, you want it to be First Community Bank.
That's very interesting, because that literally top of the wallet is like, so I have a particular type of credit card that's the top of my wallet that I always go for.
Absolutely.
I didn't think about that.
It's just, I want to see your wallet. And when I see this at the top of your wallet, I'm going to have some questions for you. And I'm going to say, how's it going? What can we do better? And what do you need that we aren't providing to you? Again, it goes back to being your hometown bank, being your bank that you stop at first when you have a need. We care. It's about building relationships and trust. And I'll add this very quickly. I did a lot of research on banks in my first 60 days to understand how people conduct business. But more than anything, what makes a customer choose to stay at a bank? And 81% of people, when polled, when they're asked, why do you stay at the bank that you're currently doing business with? You know what their answer was?
What is it?
Because I like you. It oftentimes had nothing to do with the suite of services. It was that personal relationship with their banker. And that's what we have at First Community Bank that truly sets us apart from the competition, that personal banker experience that's only going to get better as we grow.
And even if it's not like uber personal, you kind of want to feel like those people are your friends.
That's right. It's your money.
Yeah.
And your money matters.
You know what? It is personal.
It is.
It is personal.
I mean,
it's very personal.
It is. And so, there are a lot of fine folks and financial institutions in Bedford County. We just want to be the one you think about when you're like, maybe I do want to switch banks, or maybe I do want to start a new business. We want to be a part of that dream, and we want to partner with them. And by the way, yes, I come from a sales culture in my previous life. And I'd be remiss if I did not say to someone who's listening or watching on a Facebook Live that if you are watching this and you have the slightest inkling that you might like to be, that you want to consider perhaps a new financial institution, or maybe you are looking for an opportunity to spread your wings and start a new business, I encourage you to reach out, and you can reach out to me personally. I will personally handhold and get you to the right team, because let me be clear, I do not know it all, but I know people.
You know people,
that's
right.
They're all sitting at First Community Bank waiting to serve you, and I'm excited to be a part of that.
Well, Tina, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on today. Thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Yes, we'll have to do this again. Maybe we can get Kayla and the girls involved as well. We'll have a big party in this room.
Maybe it was my initiation they sent me alone, right?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
You never know.
Thank you. It's been an honor.
Yes, this is Chase Clanton on behalf of Hopkins Farms Broadcasting, bringing you the financial update with First Community Bank. We've been talking to Tina Corley, their business development officer, and all types of various different things that she does at the bank, and good little sales pitch there at the end. It's very, very good there. If you'd like to make a comment on the show, feel free to reach out to First Community Bank. Do you have their phone number top of mind by chance?
I'll do better. My mobile number
no way
is 931-580-5100.
One more time.
931-580-5100. And again, feel free to leave me a voicemail if you don't get me. I will be more than happy to answer your questions, but more importantly, to get you with a person that can make a difference, because we want to be your bank.
That's right. And if you'd like to reach out to WLIJ for any questions, you can send us an email at WLIJWZNG@gmail.com. Call us here at the station, 931-684-1514 or 684-1515. You guys know the numbers. You've been calling them for 40 years. But again, Tina, it's been a pleasure. On behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting, this is Chase Clanton for the Financial Update. We'll see you next time.